Oh boy, after 30 boring minutes, the hater says know your role and shut your mouth. But anyways, one of my loyal fans told me that someone named TW Booty Hunter or something to that effect made a video about me. I remember now, I did watch a part of his video where he talked about me only because he talked about me. And once again, he made a video about me. Now, I'm not Technical Work Rate Productions, so I'm not going to take this opportunity to completely bury this jobber, right? I'm going to just say it like it is. In one part of his video, he says, I might lose some fans over this. People might turn against me, and you can hear the insecurity in his voice, not only during this part, but throughout the video. So, but under no circumstances, if I have any influence on anyone watching, any of my fans, I do not want anyone to go and bully this guy or anything like that. I'm not about that. I'm not Technical Work Rate Productions. I'm not those two goofs that I'm about to surpass in the next few months in the only metric left, because I've surpassed them in views, I've surpassed them in everything else. I'm not those guys, so I'm not gonna take a shot at this guy. I would like to also point out that the hater has never, not one time, gone after anybody in the so-called wrestling community, mostly because I don't watch them, first, right? I never went after Technical Work Rate Productions first. They came after me, and we see how that's playing out. They're stuck at 6,880 subscribers for like 5 months. You know, these guys are pretty much dead in the water. Now, this guy comes after me. I don't know why. I don't know him. I've seen a part of his video, which was part of another video. There was another guy there. I don't even know what was going on. And then I watched 21 minutes and 14 seconds of this video that he did. And the most entertaining part by far was the clips of me that he played. You know, again, I don't want to go after him, but you're boring, dude. You're boring. I nearly fell asleep and I was in the shower listening to this. Now, some of the points, maybe he made some other ones, but I stopped when I couldn't handle it anymore. Some of the points that he made were just straight up wrong, right? I'm not going to say this guy's fucking stupid. I think it's evident. Like, if you listen to one of my videos, listen to one of his videos, you can make up your own mind as to who's more intelligent. And maybe you think it's him. I couldn't give a shit. So a couple of things that were wrong. At some point, he's listening to my video at 1.75 speed, and unlike him, I speak very fast. His video I listened to at 2 times speed, and it was still slow. Nevertheless, while he's doing this, he misquotes me. I said Obafemi is a real athlete, and this guy overreacts. He's like, he's not a real athlete? You don't think he's a real athlete? Then he goes on a boring 2-minute rant about how Obafemi is a real athlete. Well, if you listen to the video as intended, you would say that I said he is a real athlete, and that is actually a deterrent. It's a detriment, right? I am of the school of thought that says that you don't need to be a real athlete because it's not a real sport. Now, clearly this guy's butthurt that I don't like Obafemi, and that's fine. Like I said in my original video that this guy reacted to, Obafemi is someone that I hope I'm wrong. He seems like a nice guy, except he looks like 2 Kofi Kingstons, and he looks like he's 53 years old, you know what I mean? This, in my opinion, this guy's never gonna make it. But I do hope I'm wrong. I even did a video about how an African faction would have worked wonders for Obafemi. So I'm not this hater of Obafemi. I'm just a realist. I don't see something and listen to the people around me and poll what they think and then, you know, make my opinion based on that. The hater makes his own opinions. I come to my own conclusions. And if there's one, you know, knot that ties the hater's channel together, it's that's what I encourage. I encourage people to think for themselves. Now, I don't know this guy. Maybe he has really good hot takes, but I'm never going to watch them. So I got to go with what I saw in the first 21st minutes and 14 seconds. Now, I don't remember most of it because I was showering, but I did hear a variety of things that were just basically completely wrong. I'm not going to say they're stupid. They're just wrong. At some point, I say, this guy has Karrion Kross written all over him. And this guy's reaction is, how does he have Karrion Kross written all over him? Wow, what wonderful insight. I'll tell you how. He's a big guy that everyone thinks is going to be big, and he's going to have the same future as Karrion Kross. That's how. I thought this was clear in the implication, but apparently I was wrong. Then I make a point about how Obafemi is not good looking enough, and this guy takes umbrage with that. And he basically says that, oh, wrestling is watched by men, and men don't care if a guy is sexy. First of all, that doesn't matter, because wrestling is not only watched by men. That's the first hole in his argument. Number 2, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if only men watch it, right? There's a reason why Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jean-Claude Van Damme are megastars, and Terry Crews, it has to go dance with no music on in front of fucking America's Got Talent, right? Appearance matters, right? They tried to push Terry Crews as a serious action hero and it didn't work. They tried the same with Randy Couture. They've tried the same with countless other people. And there's one thing, I wonder what it could be, that ties it all together. Presentation. It's not just appearance, it's also charisma. Like, I don't think most people would say that Jackie Chan is an especially handsome man, but he's very, very charismatic. And this goes together, right? Now, beyond this, I want to say one thing. At one point, he made like a girly voice, and he was like, oh, I think this guy's cute. Now, all right, I understand. A lot of people in America are afraid of being homosexuals. I never understood it. It's a very weird thing in America, where if a guy says this guy's good looking, it's the implications that an American makes is you must want to fuck that guy, which is fucking, honestly, it's fucking weird, right? Absolutely not. I can even say a girl is attractive, and I have no interest in her because I'm a married man. You understand me? So there's that. Now, if this guy, I don't know him, but if this guy was face to face with me, and he made a girly voice in describing me, I would smash his head onto his table until he stops, not stops breathing, because it's not that bad, but I would smack him in the face, you know what I mean? So this idea that people on the internet can hop on and talk about whatever they want, I get it, I'm not actually mad, but I don't like when people do things like this where there are no consequences. Again, I'm not a violent guy any longer. I'm not gonna go and find people and like beat them up or anything like that. I would never do that. I would never threaten to do that. But in this case, I don't like how he did that because he's essentially implying that there's some homosexual element to me saying this. And I don't know why he would insult me for no reason, especially when this entire video is predicated on him reacting to my video, right? So like this idea that and it's not even the homosexual part, it's the mocking part. It's like, why are you mocking me? I've done nothing to you, bro. I've done nothing to you. And if I had found your channel, I would have just ignored it, right? I wouldn't go out of my way to talk shit about you. Now, under no circumstances am I saying he shouldn't do this or he can't do this. I think doing it is a pussy-ass move, but you can do it. You can be a pussy. In America, this is a commonly held mentality. Now, insofar as the substance of what he said, none of it made sense. My argument is Obafemi's never going to make it because he has no redeeming values. Then he's like Stone Cold, The Rock, and he lists like all these legendary guys that are counterexamples, right? He's like Randy Orton, who's a good-looking guy with a great physique. John Cena, good-looking guy with a great physique, right? He just lists people that are not Obafemi, and he says, eventually they made it. Yeah, because they have the attributes that Obafemi doesn't have. So, good job in not understanding the video at all. The entire point is Obafemi is unlike Randy Orton, and that's why his career is not gonna end up like Randy Orton's, right? Then he lists people with gimmicks. He's like, The Undertaker had 5 bad gimmicks before he got a good gimmick. Yeah, that's the point. The gimmicks, they're bad, and some are good, and some stick. But the problem is, this is not a comparison point for Obafemi for 2 reasons. Number 1, we're clearly in the post-gimmick era. Number 2, even if we weren't, Obafemi doesn't have a gimmick, right? So he's being presented as exactly what he is, right? Stone Cold eventually was presented as exactly what he is. The Rock eventually was presented as what he is, right? And that's when they had success. Obafemi is already being presented as what he is, and he's on NXT as the mid-card champion. That's the difference. It would be different, for example, if they had Obafemi come out in a mask and called him, I don't know, El Gran Luchador. And then you're like, all right, maybe one day they'll take the mask off of El Gran Luchador, and, he'll be good. For example, look at the things that I've said about Luchasaurus, right? For years, I've said Luchasaurus needs to take off his mask and become whatever the hell his name is. Because that's more compelling than Luchasaurus, right? I can recognize when someone has a bad gimmick and that the alternative is no gimmick sometimes, right? But the problem with Obafemi is he has no alternatives. He has no gimmick and he never will have a gimmick. And if he does have a gimmick, like I said in my Africa stable, video, then he could be a star. I acknowledge this completely. This guy looks at the video in a vacuum, quite frankly, he didn't understand it. He didn't get it. You know what I mean? He was confused. And one thing about his delivery that just boils my blood, because I don't like people like this in real life. They are not of the same cloth as I am. He has this thing where he reacts and he makes these noises. He's like, stop that. You know what I mean? Say it like a man. You know what I mean? Say it like you want to say it. And that's the problem with this whole YouTube community, right? It's a bunch of people that want to get into beefs with each other. I'm doing this for fun, and the hater also does it for the people, motherfuckers. I'm doing it for fun. I have no time or energy to waste on people like him or even technical work rate productions. But once the hater develops a grudge, it's hard to knock me out of it. I'm not going to develop a grudge with this guy because, quite frankly, I don't know enough about him, right? Technical Work Rate Productions directly came after me and they talked down to me, right? And, you know, I will say, and I'm not trying to disparage him because, again, I'm not like Technical Work Rate, right? I'm not going to say I have nearly 6,000 subscribers and this guy has like 2,000 or whatever. I'm not going to do that because, hey, it is what it is. Not everyone's going to grow at the same pace. Not everyone's going to grow at the same level. Not everyone's going to grow at the same time. I wish him the best. I hope he does well. However, like there's a difference between me going after this guy and trying to bury him and me going after Technical Work Rate Productions, who at the time were better than me. Not better than me, of course, they were never better than me, but they were superior to me in terms of like their overall views and their overall subscribers. Now I've dominated them in every metric, and soon enough, I'll probably get to 7,000 subscribers before they do. They're like at 6,880. You know what I mean? So one of my fans told me. So there you have it. By the way, thank you guys, all the fans that have been messaging me on Instagram. I know I'm not very responsive, but eventually I will get back to all of you. So with that being said, I got nothing against this TW Booty Hunter guy. I'm assuming TW stands for Technical Work Rate Booty Hunter because that seems to be a common moniker in these circles. But let me tell you this, right? There are people that have made videos about me, right? And have said things about me, right? That have mentioned me. Jay Rance, shout out to him, one of my favorites of all time, right? Fucking Casual Q Casual, whatever the hell his gimmick is now. The Word Lifer, right? And these guys, you know, everything they've said about me and everything I've said about them is respectful, right? I'm sure that they don't agree with me on everything either, and I'm sure I don't agree with them on everything either, because that would be weird. But this guy looks at my video and he's like, that I can agree with. And there's this superiority complex that's founded on absolutely nothing. It's the same with Technical Work Rate, right? And like they have this chip on their shoulder, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, where they're like, oh, I agree with this, so this is okay. Like, I give a flying fuck what this guy thinks, or what Technical Work Rate thinks, or what anyone thinks, really. You know what I mean? If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I have never begged for a fan. Maybe around here and there, I'll joke. I'll be like, subscribe today, you know, as an ode to the Smart Busters. But this is all for fun, motherfuckers. I'm going to get the subscribers no matter what. The hater's been doing this. I know I've been doing it for several years, obviously. But this is the first year where the hater is taking this seriously. And the hater is making quite a good amount of money, you know, all things considered, right? Because I'm actually growing, because I'm actually taking it seriously, right? And to be fair, I'm also enjoying it far more, right? And as I continue, I'm gonna grow. This guy, I mean, again, I can't speak to his channel because I've never seen any of his videos, and I never will, quite frankly, right? Because I found it to be boring. And that's not a slight against him. And it's also not like criticism. It's not constructive criticism. I could give a shit if this guy quits YouTube tomorrow or gets 10 million views. I could give a flying fuck. You know what I mean? I wish him the best, just like I wish Obafemi the best. I have no actual hate in my heart for anybody. I just don't like when people come after me for no reason. And likewise, if you recall, some of you that have been around here for a minute, I did a video a while ago where I talked about the wrestling otaku. And I never understood how it was open reign, right? Everyone that had a wrestling YouTube channel that I stumbled upon back when I was just a viewer, like the rest of y'all's, right? Everyone would make a video hating on this guy. And it's like, what the fuck did he do to you? You know what I mean? Like, he didn't do anything to you. And it's like, I get it, you know? I get it. You don't like his opinions. You don't like him. Whatever. It is what it is. You know, and the Smart Busters, who I love, obviously, they went after him too. I don't know what their beef was because I don't remember. But it's inappropriate, right? It's like, and believe me, the hater's not going to go on a rant now on how we should love and support each other, because that's just not who I am as a person. But I do believe that there's no need to go after people for no reason, right? And like, I get the impression that it's like some shock value thing. And I'm a tiny YouTuber, but irrespective of all of those things, the idea is, dude, do your videos, get your views. You could even talk about me. I could give a shit. Talk about me all you want. You know what I mean? It doesn't bother me in the slightest, right? Some of the comments, I scroll through the comments on his videos and in his video, and I responded to some people. I put some comments down because I didn't think I was gonna make a video, but then I was like, fuck it, you know, I just got out of the shower, why not, right? So, and I saw a lot of comments there of people that don't like me, right? And that's perfectly fine, man. I don't like you either, motherfucks. You know what I'm saying? I don't like you either. What do you think of them apples? How you like me now? You know what I mean? I don't care. I have believed from a very young age that in this world, there are people that will never like you. And that's perfectly fine. The hater's been okay with that since I was like 7, right? You know, when you're younger, maybe you think to yourself, I really want this person to like me because they're really cool, right? Or maybe I want this girl to like me because I like her, right? The hater realized that that's not how the world works. There are people out there in the world, right, that I am extremely compatible with, that I would be very, very, very good friends with, that don't like me, right? We are one and the same, and they don't like me, and vice versa. There's people that like me that I would probably have a lot in common with, and I just don't like them. They rub me the wrong way. There's nothing wrong with that. It's honestly weird if everyone around you likes you, right? It's honestly weird. It probably means you're fake. So the hater isn't concerned about this guy not liking me or not. The only thing that upsets me a tiny bit, because I'm not losing sleep over this, but the thing that upsets me is like, dude, why are you coming after me? Like, I don't even know you. You know what I mean? And that's why I went to the mini rant about, like, if you said this to my face, it'd be a different story. And I'm not saying, even in real life, if someone said, dude, you suck, you're fucking stupid, I wouldn't automatically throw them through a window. That's not, that's not who I am nowadays. So, like, but the idea is, you wouldn't do this in real life. In real life, you wouldn't go to someone and be like, I don't like you, you're stupid, yeah, I don't like your takes, you wouldn't do this. You only do this because there is this veneer, this protection, right? And I'm not saying this guy's afraid of me. I'm sure he's not. I could give a shit. But it's cowardly, right? It's something like you go and you say things about people and you don't even expose yourself to the consequences, right? Because fundamentally, again, I wouldn't throw him through a window, but I'd be like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? I would probably like emotionally break him down a little bit. I could do it in 3 minutes. I can read people very well. But I wouldn't do that either probably, right? But the idea is you shouldn't go after people for no reason, right? This shouldn't even need to be said. But in conclusion, this guy was wrong about a variety of things. He completely misunderstood what I said. He agreed with me on some points. I couldn't give a flying fuck if he agreed with me. Like, there's a part where I'm like, Daniel Garcia sucks. He's like, I agree with that. Don't give a shit. I couldn't give a shit if you agree with me on anything. I don't care at all, right? I hope you have a great life. I hope your YouTube channel goes up. I'm probably not going to respond. Let's be real. If he makes another video, I probably will respond because the hater is sometimes petty like that. You know what I mean? But I don't want to get into YouTube feuds. That's not what I got into this thing for. You know what I mean? And like, even the people that I liked, right? Like smart busters who aren't around anymore, right? I would never, like, in any capacity would I say, like, I don't agree with you, so I'm going to make a video about you, you know? That's not going to happen. If anything, it's going to be about good things, right? So, like, Word Lifer says I'm cool. I also think he's cool. Obviously, I didn't know who he was until someone told me he made a video about me. But now I watch, like, all his videos. I answer his polls, motherfucks. He's got some good polls, right? Same thing with Jay Rants, obviously. Now he does, like, the little gaming channel. I try to, like, when the videos, because it's a different channel, I don't think I've subscribed to it. I probably should. But, like, when the videos pop up, of course, I go, I interact, because I enjoy his work, right? I enjoy what he does. This guy, it's never going to happen again, obviously. This guy's too boring. But irrespective of any of this, I do respect and appreciate his right to comment, right? The hater is not one to throw a rock and hide his hand. The hater will throw a rock and say, I threw it. Do something about it, right? So I understand that if this guy wants to go after me, he can go ahead, you know? Maybe I'll respond, maybe I won't. Doesn't bother me, right? I understand this, that some people think YouTube is like wrestling. Like, I'm going to call a promo on this guy and whatever, right? Fine. Do what you need to do, right? I enjoy it, you know? Like, to be honest, I'm a little bit flattered, you know? There was one guy, I'm not going to mention his name here, but he's one of my early fans, and he made a video. This was one of the achievements of my life. He made a video saying how I improved his life. The videos, I think he took it down since, but I was never, the hater has had a considerable amount of achievements, you know? Educational, life achievements, many, many different things. But that was one of the highlights of my life, because I achieved what I always wanted to achieve. And that is, through entertainment, help one person, right? And now, since then, I know I've helped many others, right? And that's all it's about. You know, straight up, at the end of the day, like, even if there was no money in this, if I could help one person in anything, and I'm not saying help you, like, find the light. No, help you, like, you know, give you some information or make you laugh or something like that. Then that's what I want, right? Because that's always been something that I've strived to do, make people a little bit happier, right? And I'm sure that this TW Booty Hunter guy wants to do the same thing, and good for him. You know what I mean? And you come after me, you can use my videos, you can do all these things. I don't give a flying fuck. I'm not gonna be like, oh, he's cloud chasing. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? I've never thought of myself as someone that can be cloud chased, because at the end of the day, I have 6,000 subscribers. Maybe next year, when I will certainly hit 10,000 subscribers, you know, maybe then, I suppose, right? But the fact of the matter is this: the hater's going nowhere. And quite honestly, I mean, I'm not to toot my own horn, because one of the biggest problems of my life, I would say, is that I am a little bit arrogant. I've always had a very high opinion of myself, which is where a lot of my confidence comes from, right? But at the end of the day, I don't give a shit, right? I'm someone that I'm gonna keep doing this, and quite frankly, like I'm fucking awesome. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna say it like it is. I'm awesome. I'm very proud of myself. Recently told my friend about my YouTube channel, so now he's giving me advice. You know what I'm saying? I love him, but the hater's been doing this for a while, cuck. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll send him this video. But anyways, guys, enjoy yourselves. Have a good night. Tomorrow is Monday. It's weird because the hater works on Sundays. I've made it so my weekends are Fridays and Saturdays. So tomorrow's my second day of work, but it's also Monday Night Raw. So look forward to that review. Cuck olds.